morning, guys. Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning to you. It's Monday, August 30th, 2021. It is 6:48 a.m. Yes, I know it's early, isn't it? I love and hate getting up early. Now, I used to like getting up early because, you know, the old saying, the early bird catches the worm. Well, in this case, I'm starting to not like it now. As I got older, I'm starting to not like, you know, getting up so early in the morning. But that's because that's my own fault, actually. That's because I've been going to sleep late. And that's a bad habit I've been having. So, pay attention, you apprentices out there. If you guys, this is just advice, real quick. Tip of the day. Alright, tip of the day again. Monday morning, start of the new week. If you are in any trade, for that matter, especially you like electrical apprentices out there, like not myself, I was an apprentice. Go to sleep early. I know, practice what you preach. I have a bad habit of staying up late, but I manage, and I nearly crashed during the end of the day, but I have to start myself going to sleep early. So here's the tip: go to bed early, 9 o'clock at least tops, 8:30 maybe, if you're willing to go to sleep that early. But usually, back in the day, I used to sleep at 9 o'clock, 9 p.m. That was pretty much my bedtime, because the next day I had to start work early, 7:30 in the morning. So I got to get up at sometimes 4:30, 5 o'clock. So you want to get the amount of, like, at least a good 7 to 8 hours of sleep. Okay. Don't stay up late playing video games. I know if you're starting off as a helper and you're in your 20s, early 20s and stuff, like to go party. Listen. Do what you want to do. You got the freedom to do it, but you also got a responsibility. If you really want to be an electrician, you got to cut down on the drinking and you got to cut down on the party. I know it's tempting. You're young. You're, like I said, in your 20s. You want to party. You want to have a good time. It's great. Do it on the weekend. Do it on a Saturday. Do it Friday and Saturday night. You know, Sunday's your rest day. You stay home. You prepare. You rest for the next work day. All right. Real quick, I'm gonna start doing this. I have my microphones, and I'm gonna start attaching my lapel microphones to my phone, so that way you don't hear all this background noise too much. I know it gets a little annoying. So I'm driving in now, just getting over the Verrazano. You know, there's a lot of rattling going on. That's why I said I wanted my lapel microphone. There'll be less rattling. I'm gonna cut myself. So sorry, that happened. But yeah, just get some really good sleep. Have a bedtime. Yeah, I know you're not a kid anymore. You're still a kid. In all retrospects, you're still a kid. If you're 20 years old, yeah, you may be still a legal adult, but, you know, that's legal. In reality, you're not an adult as yet. You're still a kid. You're still got raging hormones. You still got all this other stuff you want to get out of your system. Want to have a good time, have fun, sure. You know, it was different for me in my 20s. Because, let me tell you, when I was 18, as soon as I turned 18, there's a lot of traffic today. As soon as I hit 18, I went off on my own to find work. No one told me to. My parents didn't tell me to go, when you're 18, you better go find work. They said, most parents do that, okay? Most parents will tell their kids, listen, you're 18 now. You know, your parents will say, back in my day, my parents kicked me out of the house. Be on my own. But in this day and age, we can't afford to. And the reason why is because of the economy. The economy is just pretty bad. It's really bad, to the point where everything's so damn expensive, especially if you're living in New York City, which is the most expensive city to live in. One of the most expensive cities. I wouldn't say the number one, but one of the most expensive cities to live in the United States. Yeah, you're gonna end up living with a roommate, or with your parents' basement, or just living with your parents. A lot of kids nowadays are doing that, especially if you're in your 20s. If you're starting out in the electrical trade, you're gonna be living with your parents. I don't care what you say. You know, you could be lying. I know a lot of guys who are in their 20s that I came across, and they say, well, I'm living on my own, I got my own place. And then the reality of it turns out they're actually living with their parents, because their parents are calling them, telling them, when are you going to get home? When are you going to... Boom. You know? Another thing, don't put your business out in this trade. What I'm saying by that is, don't talk about your personal life. We're not your friends. No one that you're working with isn't your friends, unless you actually know them, like knew them since you were growing up, or knew them in the neighborhood. Sure, you can make friends in this trade, without a doubt, but you also got to remember, when it comes down to it, you make friends in this trade, you got to understand it's business too. You got to understand the business aspect of this trade. You can't just, one day you become friends with a mechanic, and you become friends for years, and then one day the both of you decide to run a business together. It's business. After hours, you're friends. But anyways, back to the whole subject of waking up early and such. You're in your early 20s. I never really partied a lot. Actually, I rarely partied. Maybe went to like one or two house parties, and that was like high school, or actually after high school, really. Didn't go to a lot of parties. I guess, obviously, I'm going to be honest, I wasn't really popular in high school. So, what did I do? I worked. I worked my ass off, okay? I worked at Dunkin' Donuts, right? For like a year, almost a year and a half. I went to school. I went to trade school for HVAC. If some of you are wondering what school I went to Lincoln Technical Institute for HVAC in Union, New Jersey. Shout out to Lincoln Tech in Union. I'm now a certified HVAC technician, universal EPA certification, universal. I'm also 410A certified, and a preventive maintenance certified as well. But during those times, I didn't really party. I was always going to school and working. School, work. So yeah, at times I wish that I did have the time to go hang out with a lot of my friends and go party, do whatever. But there were times I did. I made time, but I mostly worked. I felt I mostly worked, and I bust my ass to get to where I am today. And I'm gonna be honest with you. Even though there's some things I do regret, most things I don't. The majority of the time I don't regret, not partying and stuff. And there's the occasional, feeling of, a little bit of a guilt that, damn, I should have had a good time. I should have had really been wild in my 20s, but I was mostly focused on my future. Now, I'm not saying you don't have to be like me. You don't have to, but once you fall into this trade, you have a responsibility of being on time, being punctual, okay, being reliable and trustworthy, and also being attentive and being a good mechanic. All right. As you're starting out as an apprentice, you want to do those things. Those are the things I had to follow. It's all about responsibility and accountability for your actions. All right. So if you're the type that goes partying, you're 20, 21 years old, you're in this trade, you're a helper at this point, you're going out to bars every night, my advice to you, stop. cut down on the drinking, cut down on the party. I'm not saying the party's over. You can do that on the weekend. Trust me. I've known guys who go party, go bar hopping after work on Fridays and Saturdays and Sundays. They're just out for the count because they know. See, these guys knew. They knew they had a responsibility, and they'll be accountable for their own actions if they don't show up Monday morning. Okay, they had a responsibility to stay home and just rest it all out. And the next day they'll come in. They'll come in a little groggy here and there, but at least they come in early. They come in early or on time. So don't be influenced by your friends. Your friends that go and say, well, man, come on. Let's party the whole weekend and don't worry about your job. Listen, if you listen to them, you're not your friends. They're going to make you fail because they're failing in life. All right. So be a bigger man or woman in this case as well, and be responsible. All right. So yeah, that's my tip today. So sleep early. Drink water before you go to bed. Wake up in the morning. First thing you should be drinking is a bottle of water. I just had a bottle of water. I usually have a bottle of water before I leave home. I take it with me, but I had some coffee before, but you can still, water it down with water, the coffee and what have you. Drink a bottle of water before you go to bed. Drink a bottle of water after when you get up. The reason that is because if you drink water in the morning, waking up, your body will feel more awake, more, it'll have enough oxygen flowing through your muscles throughout your body. That way your body wakes up better. You can move, you can be more aware. All right, because as you're sleeping, remember your digestive system slows down. All right, your body breaks down energy much slower. All right, and when you wake up, you start to burn that energy. Believe it or not, I feel it. Like you feel like you just ran a marathon. When you wake up, you feel groggy and tired still. But yeah, you're burning a lot of energy now waking up in that fact, from what I'm experiencing. So first thing I would do is drink some water. My body, within a few minutes or so to a half hour, your body will start feeling a lot different. You'll start feeling a little more energy. You feel more awake and aware, more hydrated. All right, because you're gonna wake up a little dehydrated. So you're gonna need that water, kind of pick you up. So a lot of people will go straight to the coffee. I did it. I've done it a few times, and usually you'll end up crashing at the end of the day if you don't drink any water. So just stay hydrated when you wake up, because you'll feel the difference between drinking coffee straight away and drinking water. All right. So first thing you do, wake up, drink some water, get dressed, shower, or just shower, get dressed if you have a shower. I usually shower every morning mostly. Get dressed, make sure you got everything before you leave. Head to work. Usually I head out to work I wake up at 4:30. Well, my alarm rings at 4:30. I don't initially get up until 5, so I give myself another half hour of rest. And if I'm starting at 7, get up at 5. I'm out the door at least by 5:20. If you're driving, you got a car, good for you. Get in the car. Most guys will say get to the job site 10 minutes early. I like to be there at least a half hour early. That way, the reason for that is because that way you can have the time within that half hour, within that 30 minutes, you can have the time to eat breakfast, bullshit around. Sorry if I'm using harsh language. I don't usually use a lot of harsh language. Bullshit around with your coworkers or what have you. Or maybe you want to watch some educational videos, do a little refresher course and so forth. Whatever in that time, you do whatever you want. But at least 10 minutes before the job site, before everybody starts coming in, put that tool belt on, put your hard hat, just get ready. Get your service cart ready on the job site, everything. That way, within that 10 minutes you should have everything set up, ready to go. And when that foreman walks in, he's gonna look at you and say, "Whoa, this guy's serious." they're gonna look at you differently. They're gonna say to you, "Oh, this guy right here, he's a keeper. You know, I need him on my team." So you young guys out there, bedtime 8:30, 9 o'clock. All right. I know you're gonna probably say, like I said before, "Oh, why don't you practice what you preach? You wake." You know, I end up going to sleep at 10, 10:30, sometimes 11 o'clock. I have a hard time sleeping early. I didn't before, now I do. But I have to start making it my business to go to sleep early again. Last night I think I fell asleep at 11, but I woke up all right. I mean, I did feel like I felt a little crappy today, but you know, I had a bottle of water, I had my coffee, I'm good to go. But get that bed rest. It's very important you get the bed rest because you'll need to stay focused on the job. Now, if you're in service calls, same thing. Get some enough bed rest. Get up early. What I like to do is I get up early. As you can see, I'm in the service van. I got one call today. You know, I look the day before. I get everything ready. My clothes out. My you know, I make sure I got everything for the job the next day, for the work week. I get up early enough to shower. I won't start till 7 o'clock, 7:30. Today at 7:30. I'm up at 5. I'm showering. Get out at 5:30. Right now it's 7:04. Okay, so you know, I'm out the door at like 5:35, 5:40. Get in the van, drive off, pick up breakfast, and I'm out the door. I don't start till 8:30 on the job, but I originally start at 7. That's the time I have to. You know, I'm supposed to be in the van right now, which I am. But yeah, I have to be at the job there and start by 8:30. So. But today I'm doing some outlets for a wireless security system, so plug-in type security cameras. It's gonna be easy. Hopefully, it's gonna be an easy day. But anyway, guys, that's the tip of the day. I hope this was helpful for you young apprentices out there. And if you are an instructor or a student in the electrical trade or an HVAC trade or whatever trade for that matter, you can use this. You can use my video to, you know, show to your classmates or to the students and let them know this is the reality of the trade. You know, this is what's going on. I've been doing electrical for 8 years. I've done HVAC for 3.5. These guys are fighting for a spot here. It's kind of ridiculous. So I know what I'm talking about when it comes to, you know, to the trade. There's accountability. You got to take account of the time you're showing up to work. You know, and this goes out to you guys also here in New York City. Listen, it's not. I don't want you to think that, you know, race has anything to do with it. Okay, I'm just gonna be straight up. I'm originally from Brooklyn, Bushwick. All right. During that time I was being raised there, it was pretty ghetto. I made friends. I had a lot of friends there. I haven't seen in years now since I moved around a lot. You guys who live out in Brownsville, Bed-Stuy, Canarsie, if you're young, you know, you're a young dude from the hood who wants to get into the trade, let me tell you something right now, and I'm being serious. You may be snickering, you may be, you know, smiling, oh, what you know about this. Listen, I've been around guys from the hood. I went to Apex. A lot of guys from the hood, from the Bronx, mostly from the Bronx, and most from Brooklyn as well. A lot of them didn't take it seriously. They would show up late. They would just leave early, or, you know, this one kid left in the middle of class to do to sell some weed all the way out in Queens. He left from Manhattan to Queens and then came back. Where, you know, it was ridiculous. Just so you could make some money. I know you gotta hustle. You're struggling, but do me a favor. Your education is what's gonna get you where, you know, it's gonna make you that money. Don't take this. Oh, the camera's really shaky, guys. Sorry, I'm getting some bumps here. I'm about to enter the tunnel. take advantage. Do not, don't take this for granted. Take advantage of the opportunity that you're given. If you're going to trade school, go every day. Get there early. Instructors love to see students come early, waiting at the door, because they know you're eager and hungry to know this trade. Okay? Now, you're not going to be taught everything. You're going to be taught the basics, like I did, like I was. I was taught the basics of the electrical and HVAC trade. When you finish school and you're out there in the real world, it's different. Totally different. Okay? But if you know the basics, it'll help you. Alright? It will help you. You will learn, if you go to trade school, you will learn, you will know a lot more than a helper, a regular helper, right? That's coming in from the street. So those of you who live like in the, ghetto area, like the Bronx and all that stuff, you're from the hood, take this very seriously. Because if you start coming in with your bad habits, the instructor or your boss, if you end up getting in with a company, your boss is not going to take you seriously. You're going to get fired. You're going to be jumping from job, company to company. And I've seen guys do that. They jump company to company. They always got an attitude. They always say, "Oh, they say because I'm black and this and that." No, it's not because of that. It's your actions. I've seen guys come in to the company I work for, come in, show up super late, and then complain, "Oh, you just doing that because you on me all the time." No. You're coming in late, and that's your fault. We're on you because we're trying to tell you, come in early. The excuses of, "Oh, my train's running late," and this and that. Well, wake up earlier. If you know we start at 7, don't just show up at 7. Get here at least a half hour early. Do whatever you got to do, and within 10 minutes before you start, get that tool belt on, get your boots on, get your hard hat on your head, and get to work. This is how the trade mentality is. And if you don't like it, it's not for you. You need to move on elsewhere and find another profession. So take this seriously, my guys, my dudes, and it's not funny. It's not a joke. All right. So listen, I'm about to get out the tunnel right now. There we go. I'm in Manhattan, so I gotta start putting up the GPS on this guy, and I gotta clock in. So anyways, guys, thanks for watching. Always remember, wear your personal protective equipment, watch each other's back, help one another out, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Take care, everybody. Have a good work week.